In today's video, I'm gonna share a little strategy with you, a blogging hack that will help you write a new blog post every single week. I hope you're excited. I mean, you should be. A new blog post every single week, especially if you're a new blogger, that consistency is huge in helping you grow. But like I mentioned in my last video, writing a blog post takes time. I mean, I'm probably spending 4 to 6 hours for every single blog post, and I don't think that new bloggers always realize just what all goes into a blog post. Even posting pictures, and once you start getting into SEO, which you'll do as you continue to grow, and coming up with a title that like people will click on and then read your blog post, all of that just adds up and takes time. But this strategy, and I'm so excited to share this with you because I think it'll be really helpful, is that you break your blog post down into these different sections, so you're focusing on different parts of your blog post for just 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day, 5 days a week, not even the full 7 days a week, just 1 hour for 5 days, and you'll have a new blog post every single week. It's such a great little hack, and what it's going to do is it's going to help you be consistent, and when you're consistent, you're going to grow. But real quick, before I dive into what this looks like, I feel like this is pretty obvious, but take what I'm saying and apply it to your own life. So if you don't have 1 hour, 5 days a week, you might have to break that into half an hour or 45 minutes or 2 hours, 3 days a week, you know, something like that. Cater it to your own life and what works best for your blog. Okay, so if you've ever felt like you don't have the time to blog, I think this is going to help you a lot and just give you a different way to look at how you can write your blog posts, okay? Let's go. So Monday, your first day, I want you to spend 1 hour on planning and your outline. If you can do this and do this well, it's going to make everything else just seamless and flow. Okay, so don't skip over this step. This is super important. So to start off with, decide what you're going to be writing about. Like, what's this blog post going to be about? This is where having a content calendar is really helpful, and I'm not going to dive deep into a content calendar here. That's going to be another video soon, but I want you to take some time to brainstorm just different blog post ideas that you can think of. Even if you just think of 2 or 3, I mean, obviously you're focusing on the one that you're going to write this week for your first week, but any others that you can put on a list or in a queue or organize them onto your calendar is just going to put you that much further ahead for next week. You can see what my content calendar looks like. I find ideas from Google, from Pinterest, from asking questions on my social media to my followers. Sometimes I'm out and about and think of something and literally write a note down in my phone. I mean, the inspiration can come from anywhere. There's some strategy involved with it, obviously, the further along you go, but any of the ideas that come to you are worth writing down. So once you have a few things on your content calendar and you've decided on the blog topic that you're going to talk about for this week, like that's what you're going to write about, I want you to create an outline for your blog post. And this is what's so important for your first day, is creating that framework for your blog post so that on Tuesday for your second hour, you can get straight to writing because you already have the outline of what it's going to look like. I like to do this part, the outline part, on a blank sheet of white paper with a pencil. Somehow that just works for me. But the very first thing that I want you to write down at the top of your paper is what you want your reader to get from your blog post. So are you answering a question? Are you inspiring them? Are you sharing a moment with them? Why should they read it? Because that's what you want to keep in mind while you're writing this blog post. And then the second thing I want you to write underneath that is who you're writing to. I always have a person in mind when I write a blog post. In my community of followers, I literally pick someone out that I know would benefit from this blog post that would be like, oh, I'm really glad you wrote this because I was just gonna ask you that question. I literally write their name at the top, and then I focus on writing that blog post directly to them. That way, as you're writing, you remember the point of the post because it's so easy to kind of get off track, but you're also remembering that you're writing to someone who is wanting to learn and enthusiastic about what you have to say. You're writing to an actual person. So putting those two things at the top and always going back to them is really going to help you form your blog post. And then from there, I want you to write down the details of the blog post that you're going to do. So are you going to do like a list style, 5 things you didn't know about blogging? Are you going to break it up into sections? Do you have an intro, a main point, and then a second main point, and then an ending? Whatever works best for you to create that framework, but get into as much detail as you can so that the next day when you sit down to write, you already have all that worked out. You know what it's going to look like. And again, this can always change. If you sleep on it and you're like, wow, that is not what I want to do, you can always change that next day and switch things up. Also, start thinking about and put in any pictures that you're going to include. So even like going out and physically taking a picture, or looking up stock images, or taking screen captures on your computer, anything else that you're going to include into your post. and then come up with a title, because I found that a title is really challenging. I come up with like the perfect title at the beginning, and then like a week later I'll have my blog post out and I'm like, that's not a very good title, but it's because I didn't spend enough time on it. So come up with a title, even if it sucks. Just come up with a title, because then, you know, when you get to Friday, that might change, it might not, but it'll be the best that it can be. Okay, so Monday, your first day, 20-ish minutes planning and creating your content calendar and like looking at what you're going to be talking about this week, putting any other ideas in your queue, and then 40-ish minutes creating the outline for your blog post, as much detail as you can get into. Okay, now moving on to Tuesday, the second hour. This is where the good stuff happens. This is draft number 1. So you're gonna begin writing. That's why the time you spend planning that first day is so important, because you are literally creating the outline and the frameworks for your blog post so that you have this freedom, this mental space to just sit and write. You're not thinking about all the things you could be blogging about or should be blogging about. Like, you know exactly what you're going to say. And you've had a whole day to like sleep on it and think about it. It's awesome. So do what you need to do to get into the writing mood. I mean, for me, that's clearing off my physical space, like having a clean desk. It's usually in the morning before I've read like Instagram or any social media. I like to just like sit and write. Also, having nothing urgent on my agenda, then I can just sit and write and be at peace and know that I have 1 full hour dedicated to writing. So use your outline to write your post. Remember, this is just the first draft. It does not have to be perfect. Include your title and make any changes that you see there, you know, as you actually write this out and have this down on paper, or guess your computer, whatever it may be. Does the title still fit and work? Can it be any better? And then also, I just like to put in text in like all caps and in parentheses that say photo and then what picture it is there. So it just acts as a placeholder for the photos that you're going to capture soon. So that second day, that second hour is dedicated to just writing. Get it all down and create something great. Well, I mean, no first draft is ever awesome, so just keep that in mind. But yeah, your second day is going to be focused on writing. On to Wednesday, day number 3. You are going to spend an hour focusing on photos and SEO. If you are a new blogger and don't know much about SEO, that is okay. That's definitely a different video and a little bit more advanced. But as you continue to grow, you're going to be using SEO and implementing it into your blog. So I'm going to keep talking about it and obviously putting it on your radar so that when you are ready to grow, you're like, oh, I know exactly what I need to do. But let's talk about photos. So today's the day where you're going to do all things photos, either going out and capturing them if you need like a selfie or something that you're talking about, or you need to find them from a hard drive from like a trip that you took, or if you need to find a stock image, or you need to do a screen capture. I mean, anything to do with photos. You already have an outline for it because you did that on Monday and you have little placeholders for it from yesterday. So today you're just working on actually putting them into your blog post. But this would include editing the photos, resizing them to fit in your blog and like look nice. Like, are they taking up a giant part of your screen, or do you have them on one side of the text? Compressing them so that they're not massive and slow your website down. Also, this is one of the things you can do even as a new blogger that will just continue to help you down the road. But when you upload a file, an image to your blog post, you actually want to give it a real name using real words. If you can, include a keyword in it. So you're having some of those keywords where people are going to find you in the actual picture's name. And then also writing in alternative text. So if your image doesn't show up, that's actually the text that will be displayed on your blog. And it's also what search engines and crawlers use to find out what your blog is about. Once you're done with the photos, then you'll spend the rest of the time focusing on SEO. Just a quick rundown of that. If you're using WordPress, Yoast SEO is definitely the plugin that you'll want to be using. You're focusing on keywords, making sure your title includes a keyword, focusing on H1, H2, and H3 headings. You're gonna want to fill out the meta description, which is the little paragraph or snippet that shows up on the search results page. It's the information underneath and just gives more detail to what your blog post is about. And then any categories or tags that you're putting your blog post into. And something really simple that you can do is include different links to blog posts that you've written, as well as other websites that are similar to your blog topic. This is just going to help improve your SEO. I know that's a little advanced there, but as you continue to grow and to learn, like, you're gonna get it. It's all going to start to make sense, and you're just going to like grow your blog more and more. Every single blog post is going to have more detail in it and be more catered for your audience. So just know that you're going to dedicate that third day, that third hour, to photos and to SEO. All right, moving on to Thursday, hour number 4. you're going to be focusing on draft number 2, so you have had a day to step away from it and like come back to it and see it with fresh eyes, as well as any promotional material that you're going to create around this blog post. That would include anything for social media, so Instagram and Facebook, I'll talk about it in a minute, or anything for Pinterest. Here's where you would include pin images and just writing some of those descriptions out. So spend as much time as you need on this second draft just cleaning things up. I mean, now you have the title and the text and the pictures all in. You basically have a completed blog post. I like to read it out loud and see the flow. Literally look at it away from your computer and just see the white space. Like, can you break up some paragraphs? Do you need to add bullet points or numbers or color? Any of that little detail work that you can do to get it as close as it can be to publish ready. So just take your time doing that second draft, and then when you are ready, move on to any promotional material. So if you are going to be posting on Instagram and Facebook, like, what are you including in that post? Are you including a link to the blog post? Are you putting up a picture? Are you adding it to your stories? Or if you're on Pinterest, maybe you create 3 pin images on Canva. I have a whole video of doing that, how easy it is, how super easy it is to create pin images in like no time. I think I create 2 in like 6 minutes. But just getting those ready and just planning out what you're going to do to promote this blog post, because remember, every single blog post should be promoted more than once. You don't want to just push publish and hope that people come and find it because it's out there now. No, you have to be intentional and share it multiple times in multiple ways. And oh my gosh, please hear me on this. If you're a new blogger and you see people like me talking about Pinterest and Instagram and Facebook Live and Instagram Live, you don't have to do it all. Pick 1 or 2 things to focus on and just do them really, really well. And then as you get more comfortable with those, you can always do more, or you can expand and do other things too. But that's what you're doing on this 4th day, is that second draft, getting it as tight as you can so that it's publish ready, as well as planning for any promotional materials, social media, Pinterest, that sort of thing. And Friday, our 5th and final hour, this is the big one, guys. This is where you publish your blog post and you promote your blog post. So spend as much time as you need on the publishing part of it, do a final run through, make sure everything's right, publish it, make sure things look how you expect them to look and that your website looks nice, and then go promote it. Let your followers know that you published it, that it's live, which if you publish on the same day at the same time, they will be waiting for you to hit that publish button. I know it sounds crazy, but it's so true. If you are that consistent, like, people will know that you published Tuesday at 10 a.m. Like, they will just remember that. And that's why that consistency is so key to the growth of your blog. So be sure to publish it on your social media channels, your Pinterest if you have it, you already have these materials prepared. Or if your second draft went, you know, a little longer in that hour time period, you can also create the promotional materials today. Oh, one I didn't mention from Thursday is also email. If you have an email list or any subscribers, you can also share with them that the post is live. I mean, there's just so many things that you can do. Word of mouth, go tell your neighbor, call your mom up. Literally, you guys, when I publish a post or a YouTube channel, I'm like, Mom, Haley's my sister. I'm like, you guys, I just put a new video up. Check it out. Tell your friends. Tell anyone that you know. Like, it's a real thing. But you should be so proud of yourself. Going through that whole process is not easy, and to do that week after week, it can be challenging, it can be overwhelming, but that's why I want to show you guys this blogging hack to help you be consistent, to help you put out a blog post every single week. And like I said, cater it to your schedule. So maybe it's shorter amounts of time, like not an hour, but you're doing it 7 days a week, or maybe it's longer chunks of time, less days, whatever that looks like for you. And then as you become more comfortable with this, more confident in this, which is a big part of all of this, is confidence. Oh man, confidence is a game changer. But you can look at doing more and more. Once you've consistently done 1 blog post a week, 1 blog post a week, 1 blog post a week, you can look at doing 2 blog posts a week, or maybe promoting it in different ways. Whatever works for you. But the main goal is that you guys are consistently putting out a high quality blog post every single week, that your readers are going to be like, that was awesome. I cannot wait till next week. I want more. That being said, guys, I hope this video shed some light on just a different way that you can approach writing a blog post. I hope it helped you break a blog post down into different pieces and just show you how you can focus on these different parts of the blog post to be consistent week after week. That's the goal here. I can't thank you guys enough for being here for another video. It truly means the world. I look at my numbers and just like, I'm at 203 subscribers today, and I can't believe it, and I can't thank you guys enough for being here. If you aren't subscribed, be sure to subscribe, like this video, share it with a friend. That would really help me, and I just so appreciate you guys every single week. I hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you guys on the next one. Bye!